So they are two of America's funny men, and now Leno and Adam Carolla are trying to keep us laughing by training the next generation of comedians. ABC's Jaclyn Lee went to their comedy camp in LA.
There's just something about Hollywood. Driving down Sunset Boulevard, the energy, the lights, the opportunity to tell jokes.
Come on, let's go.
So I guess I'm rounding out the diversity segment of the fantasy camp.
Meet these 80 aspiring comics, or campers as they are called. They've traveled from all over the country, taking part in something called Comedy Fantasy Camp, put on by who else? Leno and Adam Carolla.
How did this comedy camp come about?
Well, I'd interviewed the man behind the rock and roll fantasy camp a few times on my podcast. And after hearing about how that worked a few times and how cool it was, I just thought, well, what about comedy fantasy camp?
So now you apply this concept to comedy, and you get this.
Susan, it has everything to do with it.
Susan Guidi is 66 and one of the campers. She's a grandmother to 7 and a bodybuilder.
Why comedy? Because I needed an answer to the craziness that I was dealing with when I got divorced. In my mid-40s, having been married for almost 20 years. And then I realized, oh, comedy is the answer.
Any ladies in the house remember Kotex back in the day? Thank you, thank you. They were like adult diapers.
Leno also took the stage, doing Q&As, ready to impart some of his wisdom.
Can you teach someone to be funny?
Well, I think you can teach them to be funnier. I say it's really just be yourself. Try to be as comfortable as you can. I always tell people, the best advice, do you have anywhere like your church, your synagogue, where you could get up and just speak in front of people? You know, that's the first step.
I thought as an icebreaker, maybe we could go around the room and everyone can say the name of their podcast.
And get this, the attendees have some of the most unexpected and random backgrounds.
You investigate Medicaid fraud. Why are you here at a comedy fantasy camp?
I mean, investigating fraud is cool, but it's not fun. And I don't get to do the fun stuff like going kicking people's doors down. Like, I don't get to do that. I mean, comedy is my life. It's always been a part of me, and it always will be. So I just thought, hey, let me surround myself with comedy and comedians forever.
Y'all keep clapping. If you keep clapping for 3 minutes, I won't have to remember these jokes.
The whole point of the camp is to push campers out of their comfort zone.
And I looked around and I saw so many people have these, like, over 40 have these, you know, cool, thick glasses. And I realized, you know, these are the push-up bra of the middle-aged man. I mean, look at Adam Carolla. When he takes his glasses off, I mean, it's atrocious.
And the hardest part is sort of the beginning, you know, when you're on stage and you have all the butterflies and the emotions, and it can feel so overwhelming. And once you get your 10,000 hours in the pilot seat, it's just, all that goes away.
For attorney James Kernick, this trip is deeply personal. Earlier this year in January, he went into cardiac arrest twice. He says his doctor told him he technically died twice, with no medical justification for why he made it back.
My dad comes and stays with me in the winters. He was at the kitchen table, and he said I just made 3 gasping motions, and then I was gone.
James was in a coma for 4 days with no response. A chaplain arriving to the hospital room to prepare his family for the worst. But then 4 days later, he woke up.
Okay, and then you came out and you're like, I need to like take advantage of life and...
Yeah, take advantage of life and not miss opportunities like, you know, like this. Yep, pretty impressive. That part was easy.
After 4 days of workshops, seminars, and breakout groups, the comics took to the stage for open mic, practicing their sets.
Know me like that, get back. And I'm like, hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
Some were heralded as a total success.
So my wife was born and raised in Boca Raton, so she grew up retired.
Others, yeah, maybe needed some work.
My wife doesn't think I'm funny either, so let's see how this goes.
And you know what? You only live once, right? I decided to step out of my own comfort zone as a reporter and get up on stage myself. Yes, me. And take a shot at it.
This lady has no background in comedy. From ABC News,
Let's welcome the adorable Ms. Jaclyn Lee. Come on up, Jaclyn.
I'm up here so I don't get fired. Thank you. There's something about free stuff that gets me so excited. I was driving around with my mom the other day, and there were these two really large cactuses on the side of the road. So she and I are like on the side of the road, struggling to lift this massive cactus and stuff it in the Ford Fusion, the rented Ford Fusion. The cactus whacked me in the face, and they're very sharp. Was whacking my mom. It was awful. So the long story short is nothing is ever free, ladies and gentlemen.
But I think I'll keep my day job. After a whirlwind week, many reflected on the camaraderie, taking a risk, and putting themselves out there.
I think for me, my use of comedy is to inspire other women, predominantly over 50 menopausal women who often think their lives are over. So for motivational speaking, comedy, man, is so awesome. It's so awesome. I'm never going to be a headliner of a club. That was never necessarily my goal, but if I can make even you laugh, oh, it makes me, it's like, I'm like a Jewish mother with this chicken soup and matzo balls, right? I get to put my arms around you, and for a minute, you connect on a level that isn't often possible, and don't we need to laugh these days more than ever?
Give Jaclyn a ton of credit for going up and doing that. It can't be easy. Jaclyn, thanks so much for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.